welcome to another video. Today I have a haul before Christmas because I have too many fucking books and nowhere to put them. So recently I did an unhaul, cleared up some space. Here's the haul that's gonna fill in all of that space before I've even got to the stack of Christmas presents, hence why my wish list is entirely empty, and please stop sending me things. Not that I'm not grateful, I really do appreciate anyone who sends me anything. There are a lot of gifts to be shown in this video, and I'm so grateful for all of you. It's slightly overwhelming. That being said, I am going to start with books that I have purchased myself. There's a few of those in here. Took advantage of the Waterstones Black Friday points thing that was going on, and then we'll get into the gifts. Also, I want to address that I am wearing antlers, however they are slightly out of frame, but festive. Okay, let's crack on with it, and we'll start with the festive ones. I picked up for myself A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. I picked this up mainly on Pris's recommendation. She has been yelling at me to read A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig, and I have zero idea what it's about other than a boy called Christmas. Probably festive. You're about to read the true story of Father Christmas. If you believe that some things are impossible, you should put this book down right away, because this book is full of impossible things. Are you still reading? Good, then let us begin. Sounds magical. So, gonna try and read this one around Christmas time. Next up, I have got The Miracle on Ebenezer Street by Catherine Doyle. This is a very peculiar size. I just love the way this one's presented. It's a hardback, it's beautiful. Look at that naked dust jacket with the little snow globe under there. It's just so cute. And I've heard good things about this one from Gavin. I think it was Gavin that told me that I should probably pick this one up, so I did. Again, not too sure what it's about other than festive, miracle, Christmas, good things. 3 long years has passed since George's father first cancelled Christmas, and now old Marley's magic was beginning to stir. So yeah, looking forward to reading this one around the Christmas period as well. I feel like I don't normally read Christmas books around Christmas and needed to fix that this year, so I've done exactly that. Next up, I picked up The Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. I read an arc of this on NetGalley, which is why I didn't have the physical copy yet, but this was a 5-star read for me. I love Sophie Anderson. I've loved all of her books that I've read. She is a miracle worker with like Russian folklore tales and weaving them into her middle grade books. I adore them. This one follows a young girl called Olia who lives in a castle with her family, and there is some tangled magic, as the title would lead you to believe, but it's some sort of like portal fantasy. I don't want to give too much away, but Olia goes on a wild journey to untangle the magic that is hidden within her family home, and it's a beautiful tale of her family, the bonds between her and her sister and her parents, and the found family along the way as well. As always, Sophie Anderson is heartwarming, magical, wonderful, and I entirely recommend everything she's ever written. Next up, I picked up 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison, which shockingly I did not already own, have not already read, but I love the Pinch of Magic series by Michelle Harrison, so should really delve into some of her earlier works. And again, Gavin has told me that I should pick this one up at some point. My mum has actually already read this series as well, and also said similarly that I should pick it up and that I would probably really enjoy it. So here we are, 13 Treasures. Again, I don't know much about this. I've just been buying books on people's recommendations. I should stop. Tanya has a secret. She can see fairies. If I remember correctly, this is a little bit like darker than normal, but not the fairies we imagine. These fairies cast spells on her, rousing her from sleep and propelling her out of bed. Disturbed by her daughter's behaviour, Tanya's mother sends her away to live with her grandmother at Elveston Manor, a secluded countryside mansion on the outskirts of town. Already sounds slightly creepy. There, an old photograph leads Tanya to an unsolved mystery. 50 years ago, a girl vanished in the woods. A girl Tanya's grandmother will not speak of. Tanya is determined to find the truth, but as she unearths more secrets, she finds herself dangerously close to following in the missing girl's footsteps. So yeah, it's probably going to be that little bit darker, with fairies probably being involved in that. But I love Michelle Harrison's writing. I love the like danger and tension that you can feel in her stories, as much as Pinch of Magic is a magical, heartwarming tale of sisters, it is also very tense. And I think with this being that little bit darker in tone, it's probably going to be right up my street. Next up, I picked up Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. I know Pris at this point is probably squealing with excitement, but this is actually going to be the middle grade monthly pick for January, so I needed to get my mitts on it anyway. I was going to read it eventually on Pris's recommendation, so I'm very happy to have it, be able to hold it in my hands, and we'll look forward to reading it in January with Middle Grade Monthly. And of course, if you want to join in, grab yourself a copy if you haven't read it already, because it seems like a lot of people already have. Then you are, of course, welcome to join in the book club with us for January. We will have a live show on this one towards the end of the month. I'm looking forward to this. A lot of the books in this series are quite chunky, and the series itself is very long, and I don't know much about it other than our main character, I think, is telepathic. Sophie is a telepath. Yes, she is. She can hear the thoughts of everyone around her, something that she's never spoken about even to her own family. So she's harbouring that secret. But other than that, I'm probably going to go into this one quite blind. But I know that Pris absolutely adores it. I know that Dem absolutely adores it. And anytime those two get together in a live chat or in comments or whatever, it's all they talk about. So I will be in the know. And then the last book that I picked up for myself is The 10 Riddles of Earth, a Quicksmith by Loris Owen. Again, I don't know anything about this one, but Gavin told me that I would like it and that I should pick it up, so I did. And it's a beautiful edition with these bright orange edges. I am a fan of that, obviously, because it's orange. Welcome to Quicksmith's College of Strange Energy. Ooh. When Kip Bramley receives a cryptic invitation delivered by a beetle-shaped drone that appeared to be breathing, his world changes forever. Soon he finds himself chasing riddles and solving puzzles set 400 years earlier by a mysterious genius. Kip and his friends must use their wits, teamwork, and new knowledge to find the Ark of Ideas, but dangerous forces are gathering. Dangerous adventure. Sounds like fun. Sounds like the sort of thing I'd be into, and it's a beautiful edition, so grabbed myself a copy of that too. So that is everything that I managed to buy for myself. There is now a lot of books that other people have bought for me. So again, thank you all very much for your generosity. It's kind of insane. So firstly, as a gift from Harriet, we have The Frozen Telescope and The Smoking Hourglass by Jennifer Bell. These are the second and third books in the Crooked Sixpence series, The Uncommoners, illustrated by Carl Jones Mountford, so of course they are gorgeous books. I really enjoyed the first book in this series and am quite eager to continue, so I'm really very grateful to Harriet for sending these my way, so I have the opportunity to do that. I could binge these if I wanted, but let's be honest, when do I ever binge a series? No, I'm gonna wait like 3 years before reading them because that's what I do. This series follows siblings Ivy and Seb, whose world gets turned upside down when their grandmother's house is ransacked and there is a mysterious etching on the wall that says they can see them now, and they go into the underground world of Londonor where they discover uncommon people, uncommon objects, and a bit of a mystery around their family and why their grandmother cannot remember anything pre a certain date. So mysteries unravelling, lots of magic. It's a little bit wacky, but I really like it, and I really like Jennifer Bell's writing, so big fan of the first one, and I'm looking forward to diving into the rest. Thank you very much, Harriet, for these. Next up from Bunny, thank you very much, Bunny, is Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. The title is all we need to know here. Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. How does one accomplish such a feat? He's a 7th grader. And he punches a hole in the sky. Okay, so Tristan Strong is sent to spend some time with his grandparents on a farm in Alabama. But on the first night there, there's a creature who steals his journal and runs off into the outside world. And in an attempt to catch this creature and get his journal back, he accidentally punches a hole in a tree, opening a chasm into some other universe. Sounds wild? I'm there for that. Sounds like fun. So thank you very much, Bunny, for sending me this one. I'm really excited about it. And this one is by Kwame Mbalia. Next up, I have a couple of gifts from Emma. Thank you very much to Emma T, to be specific. And she just sent me a couple of beautiful Carl James Mountford books because my collection is never going to be big enough. But she has sent me The Slightly Alarming Tale of the Whispering Wars by Jacqueline Moriarty. This is the sequel to the extremely inconvenient adventures of Bronte Metalstone, which I read earlier this year and really enjoyed. And yeah, this is the sequel to that. It is absolutely beautiful, but it's Carl James Mountford, so do we expect anything less? No. And from what I know, I believe this one's a bit of a prequel to Bronte Metalstone, because in Bronte Metalstone they do refer to what they call the Whispering Wars, and this one obviously focuses on the Whispering Wars, which is the War of the Whisperers. If you've read the first one, you will know what that means. But for that reason, I can't really tell you much about this one because it will spoil something big in the first one. But I really enjoyed the first one, which was the wild adventure of Bronte, who has been sent by her parents' will to deliver gifts to her aunts across the kingdom, and they are all crazy things like pirates and dragon tamers, and one of them lives with elves, one of them is a reclusive artist, like all different walks of life, and Bronte discovers that perhaps there's more to this adventure she's been sent on than just delivering gifts. Not entirely related prequel with the history of the world and what's going on, but I look forward to diving into this one. So thank you very much, Emma, for this. And then she's also sent me The Peculiars by Kieran Larwood. I don't know anything about this except it's illustrated by Carl James Mountford, and when I saw it I was like, add to wish list. The Peculiars are a band of misfits trapped in a nightly Victorian sideshow. There's Wolf Girl, Sheba, Sister Moon, who can move the speed of light, and Monkey Boy, Ace Climber, and the Human Stink Bomb. But during the day, in a world of child snatchers, grave robbers, and dastardly doctors, they solve mysteries no one else cares about, including why London's poorest children are being snatched from the banks of the Thames. Interesting characters solving missing children's cases. Sounds fun. And again, the cover is just gorgeous. And it's really diddly, this one. So, I look forward to diving into that too. Thank you very much, Emma, for the gifts. I appreciate it very much. Next up, we have Molly, who needs to stop. She's on FaceTime currently watching me film this. She's got her beady little eyes on me. But Molly, I let slip in a live show that I don't own Pages & Co. and that I want to read them, and she loves them. So she sent me all of them, because she's adorable and can't be stopped. But Pages & Co., Tilly and the Book Wanderers, Tilly and the Lost Fairy Tales, and Tilly and the Map of Stories, all here, about a young girl called Tilly who has the ability to book wander and can... Is it bring characters out of books, or can she go into them? Both. She can do both. She can go into stories and bring people back out of them. Sounds like a wild time. And I can see Alice on there. I think it's going to be fun. Molly loves it. A lot of people love and rave about these. 11-year-old Tilly Pages. Oh, her name is actually Tilly Pages. That's adorable. 11-year-old Tilly Pages has lived above her grandparents' bookshop ever since her mother disappeared. One day, Tilly's favourite book characters appear in the shop and she discovers she can follow them into their worlds through the magic of book wandering. Can her new power solve the mystery of what happened to her mother all those years ago? Ah, so not only is it just the fun of being able to do that, but we're going to discover what happened to Tilly's mom. Nice. I'm excited to dive into these. I think they're going to be really heartwarming and just good fun, and everyone loves them, so fingers crossed I will too. Thank you very much, Molly. But this isn't it, because she doesn't stop. What did she say here? We can buddy read this, okay, ma'am? All in capitals. But she gifted me Harley in the Sky as well, by Akemi Dawn Bowman, which is circusy, and I think there's some sort of acrobat involved there. It's a beautiful book, but I don't know anything about it. When I'm on the trapeze, I feel whole. When I'm in the air with the ropes between my fingers, I feel like I'm everything I ever want to be in the world. This is what I want, this is all I've ever wanted. I only wish my parents could see what this means to me, what it would mean to hold a dream in my palm, press it tight against my heart, and never let it go. That tells me nothing about what this book is about. It's about a trapeze artist, I guess. Mental health, family and friendship, and the circus, all told in raw, engaging voice. Harley in the Sky is a luminous, unforgettable examination of love, loyalty, and tough choices. Nice. Wow, it's a beautiful book, and if Molly wants to buddy read it, we'll do that. So thank you ever so much for that one too. But of course, that's also not where it ends. I know you're mad I'm spending more money on you, but I wanted to thank you for being one of my bestest friends. Stop it. I think this is the last one in the stack though. For how long? We can't be certain. I'm pretty sure I've got 3 kilos of gummy dolphins coming in the post too. But she also sent me The Witcher's Boy by Kelly Barnhill. This I didn't actually know was a thing until Steph mentioned it because she received it. She's also on FaceTime, just mentioning the girls, they're having a party over there. But Kelly Barnhill wrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon, which I absolutely adored. It was such a beautifully written book that just made me cry. For no particularly sad reason, it was just so beautifully written that whilst I was reading it, I was crying because it's gorgeous. So as soon as I was made aware of the fact that there was another book by her that was The Witcher's Boy, I need to read it. Will I sob? Probably. We'll find out. And in fact, I don't want to read the blurb. I want to go into this one pretty blind, just because I think it's going to make me cry. So we'll leave it at that for that one. But thank you so much, Molly, for this massive stack of books. You are too much, and you know that I love you a lot. Next up, I have a little gift from Tamina, and that is Tamarind and the Star of Isha. This one is by Jazz Binder Berlin, who wrote the Isha and the Spirit Bird. Is that what that one's called? I think so. Yes, it is, which I read for, was it for Bookopoly, maybe? Bookopolathon? I might have read it then. I really enjoyed that. I liked the writing. It was very simple, very easy to get through, but it was a cute story. So when I found out that there was another book of a similar sort from that author, I popped that on my wish list as well. Because it sounds cute. Tamarind never knew her Indian mum, who died soon after she was born. So when she visits her ancestral home, a huge house in the Himalayas surrounded by wild gardens, she's full of questions. But instead of answers, there's a forbidding silence. To unravel the mystery at the heart of who she is, Tamarind follows a trickle of clues to an overgrown hut, a star-shaped ring that glows, and a strange girl who calls herself Ishta. So similarly to Isha and the Spirit Bird, sounds like a cute story of like finding yourself and finding your family and discovering who you are, etc. Sounds super cute, and again, it's a really tiny one. I didn't realise it was quite so small, but I look forward to reading this one too. So thank you very much, Tamina, for sending me this one. Next up, we have a gift from Barbara. Thank you ever so much, Barbara. You spoil me. And you have gifted me Blood and Honey by Shelby McEwen. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, which I read I can't remember when, and shockingly didn't hate, considering it's a very romance-heavy book. I didn't hate it, quite enjoyed it, and would quite like to get to the sequel. The way that that ended off has left me a little bit intrigued, so I will dive into this at some point. This one, however, is quite chunky. Like, I didn't think it would be quite so large, but it is. Serpent and Dove follows a witch and a witch hunter who are forced into an arranged marriage, and that can only go one way, really, which of course is romance. Like, you'd think not, but come on, it's a YA book, duh. But yeah, sequel to that, so I will dive into this at some point and see if I continue enjoying that story. But thank you very much, Barbara, for gifting me this one. This one was definitely supposed to be a Christmas present, but I opened it early, and I'm so sorry. But thank you ever so much to Jenna for this one, and that is Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I really don't know too much about this one other than the fact that it's by Alex Harrow, who wrote the 10,000 Doors of January, which I really did enjoy a lot. So when I saw another book from them, I popped that on my wish list. But it's witchy, and I've seen many people enjoying this, so fingers crossed I will as well. And it's absolutely gorgeous. There's no such thing as witches, but there will be. I don't want to read any more than that. I want to find out for myself when I read it. But yeah, thank you very much to Jenna for gifting me this, and I'm sorry that I opened it before Christmas. Whoops. But thank you, and I really appreciate it. Next up, we have a little gift from Tracy. Thank you very much, Tracy. She has sent me the full, not the Fool's Errand. I do this all the time. If there is a the, I miss the the. If there is no the, I add a the. There's no the. It's just Fool's Errand. by Robin Hobb, which is the first book in the Tawny Man trilogy, which is the next trilogy that we'll be moving on to after the Live Ship Traders for the Elderling Along. So, one that I needed to get my mitts on, and I believe in this trilogy we go back to following Fitz and the Fool, which is exciting stuff. I don't know too much more than that, and nor do I want to, because I don't know how things correlate and connect, but I'm excited to dive into Tawny Man and continue on with Robin Hobb's works. I've been enjoying them quite a bit, so I'm definitely looking forward to this, and thank you very much, Tracy, for the little prezzy. And finally, last but not least, is this gift note from Steph. Why is it so long? The gift note itself is ordinary sized, but it's just been printed on this really long piece of paper. Steph has sent me Descender Volume 1. Thank you very much, Steph, for the little prezzy, even though I kind of spoiled it for myself by saying, oh, Volume 2's still there and Volume 1's gone, and you were like, damn it. So I'm sorry that I ruined the surprise, but I am very grateful for it, so thank you very much. This I simply threw on my wish list because it is one of G from Book Roast's favourites, and I trust her graphic novel recommendations, and I want to dive into some of her faves, so that's my plan. I know it's very sci-fi-y, but I don't know anything about it. 10 years after a planet-sized robot? What? 10 years after planet-sized robots called Harvesters appeared and wreaked havoc across the galaxy, a young android named Tim-21 wakes to find that all robots have been outlawed. But Tim may hold the secret. Is it Tim or is he T-I-M? We're going to call him Tim. May hold the secrets to the Harvesters in his machine DNA, and he quickly becomes the most wanted robot in the universe. With the bounty hunters and threats lurking at every turn, Tim embarks on a mind-blowing adventure through the stars along with his robot dog, Bandit, and the lumbering mining droid Driller. There's a robot dog? That's adorable. There we go. Sounds like good fun. I'm looking forward to diving into this. I like sci-fi graphic novels, and it looks quite pretty. Different style than I was expecting. Wasn't expecting it to be quite so like watercolory, but it's very pretty, so looking forward to that. And I'll pop this massive gift note back in there. It's so big it pokes out either end. Thank you, Steph. And then finally, one that was sent to me by the author is Queen of the Empire, book 1 in the Relic trilogy by Harriet Moore. This is a fantasy romance, which is normally not my thing, but if I'm gonna give fantasy romance a go, it's gonna be a little one. So we'll see how I go with this one. It is apparently perfect for fans of Jennifer L. Armentrout and Sarah J. Maas. If you're a fan of those books, let me know how true that statement is. And that is the end of my massive ass book haul. I definitely am gonna run out of space on my shelves. I have nowhere to put any of these, so cue the struggle of trying to squidge them in. But again, thank you ever so much to everybody who gifted me anything. I appreciate it so much. My wish list is absolutely barren thanks to you guys. I've had some troubles with my nan because of that, who's been desperate to buy me things, but you guys keep getting there first. But I definitely appreciate it so much, and thank you all. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, give us a thumbs up. Chat to me down below. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you think of them, which ones you think I should get to first. And I hope you have a jolly festive period, whatever you're doing. I hope you're able to have fun somehow with whatever's going on in the world, but we won't touch on that. But yeah, thanks ever so much for hanging out with me for a bit, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!